this video, I'm going to be talking about 3 to 4 things that affect land prices. So there could be many different things that affect land prices. Like if you found gold under your piece of land, it could affect the land prices, the value of your land dramatically. But for the most part, there's about 3 to 4 things that I actually have listed here. The list is the demand for the land in that area will affect the land prices, the utilities, if they have utilities or they can get utilities to that piece of land, and the third and fourth is the growth in that area, right? For example, Austin, Texas. Right now, it is very hard to purchase any land over there because of all the growth and the movement and like development that's happening in that city. So land prices maybe 40 years ago weren't that expensive, but right now, because of all the development and growth that's happening there, the land values are higher. And the fourth one is usability. So starting at number 1, demand. Right, land is kind of unique because it goes off of comps. So how land value is set is what, of course, it's just like any other thing. It's what people are willing to pay for it. And what often drives that is demand. So just like how we were talking about earlier, in Austin, Texas, there is an insane demand for pieces of land that can be developed. And for example, one of our friends was looking at it was like a 3-acre parcel, and I think it was like $200,000 or something. So that breaks down to $70,000 per acre. So again, things like that, demand. If there's a lot of development, if there's a big company that has moved to that town, or there's some like gas station being developed on the other side of the street, or some kind of thing. So demand often drives land prices. And how you can see that is you can check for the pieces of land around it, so you can look for comps. So if something is sold in the last 6 months, what is it sold for? And if your piece of land is close to that, like size-wise, or if it's in the same area, that's a great way for you to gauge the value of land. The next thing is utilities. So if your piece of land has utilities on it, it's often going to carry a premium. So it's going to be worth more just because of the fact that there is water installed, or there is electricity or a sewer connection. So those 3, like having utilities increases the price of the land. And often land that has access to those utilities, you'll often see a premium and pay a premium for. So if the utilities are already installed, you're going to definitely pay more than for a vacant piece of land that has no utilities currently. But make sure that if the utilities are important, that you have access to get those utilities now or in the future. And the final few points are growth and usability. So growth, right? So if there's a lot of action happening in that area, like if there's new companies moving in, or there's more people even moving in, often that can also increase the land value and prices, right? Because now the sellers are going to be like, wow, there's all these people moving here, and now people are willing to pay a little bit more. So all that drives up the value. And I think the real smart people or whatever can identify where is there going to be growth, where is the puck headed, rather than where is the current action at. So if you want to get a good deal, think about where are some areas which you think can grow, and often you can buy land for much cheaper than buying it in already a developed area. And the fourth thing is usability, right? So there's no reason to buy, you can definitely do this, but buying land that is usable. So if it's like farmland where you can actually produce vegetables or produce something from, the usability of land also increases its prices. So if it's like barren land versus some kind of income producing land, the prices will be a lot different. So farmland often is very expensive because it's useful, it's usable. But if you buy a side of a mountain in the desert somewhere in Arizona, the usability factor for both are completely different. So those are some things to think about when it comes to land.